Let me show you a manufacturing process which is a shirt manufacturing. So there are 14 activities I have mentioned here. As you know, typically a shirt manufacturing, the first step is cutting. As you see here, this is divided into 3 blocks. There is one block here, there is a second block here, and there is a third block here. So the first block is, let me call it as pre-manufacturing. In many manufacturing situations, before you actually start the manufacturing, some prior operations are done. In the case of a shirt manufacturing, the cloth that we have needs to be cut. So that is stage 1. The second stage is what I call it as manufacturing. As you see here, it starts with collar making, and then you have cuff, then you have the sleeve is done, then the front and the back portions are done, the shoulders are stitched, then start attaching the collar, you attach the sleeves, and the sewing is done, and finally the hemming is done. So that completes the manufacturing process. And the third stage that you see here is, let me call it as finishing operations. Typically what you mean by finishing is you inspect for quality control, and then in the case of a shirt we want to press it properly and then fold it and then pack it so that it is ready for dispatch. So what you see here are the following. We have identified 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and another 3 here. 14 activities in all. So there are 14 activities which we have identified. Also, we have identified the technological and the logical constraints. So this is what I mean by saying technological and logical constraints. So far we saw the manufacturing example. Now we will see a service example. We will take the case of an insurance policy. Let us say I go for a healthcare insurance or a motor vehicle insurance or a property insurance. Now we want to understand capacity issues, so therefore we need to design the process. So in the case of an insurance policy, I have identified 4 activities here. The first activity is review the request. When an insurance policy proposal comes, somebody has to basically review it. Then there is this process called underwriting, which is done in all insurance firms. Somebody has to rate this in terms of risk profile, and therefore that has to decide what is the insurance premium that we need to actually quote. And once all these are done, finally the policy is written, and if it is acceptable to the customer, the policy is handed down. So in this service example, we find that there are 4 activities, unlike in the manufacturing example where we talked about 15 activities, and we have also identified the technological constraints. For instance, without reviewing the request, you cannot do underwriting, and after underwriting only you can do the rating, and after these 3 activities are over, you can do the policy writing. So this is what I mean by saying identify activities, identify the technological and logical constraints. So 2 steps are over. Let's see what is the next step.